In this video, we'll be demonstrating Radmax DR software. Radmax software is a proprietary software by DR Gem, and it controls their DR systems. It can also interface and control the generator for all DR Gem X-ray systems. So it's a nice agile software, very simple to use, very intuitive. So what we're looking at here is just the main screen when you log into the system itself. You've kind of got a dashboard here, some different settings you can play with and look at. If you are just a standard user who's using this to do your X-ray work throughout the day, you're really only going to be paying attention to these 3 or 4 tabs over here on the left-hand side. So let's go over to the work list. The work list is where you're going to be putting in your patient's information. If your office uses a practice management system or a RIS or a HIS, and you have patient orders sent from that software over to your X-ray room, this software can pick up on that. We just need to have some information as far as the server that's going to be sending those messages. We just need the IP address, the AE title, and the port. We can plug those into the Radmax software, and as that modality worklist server is broadcasting those messages, this software can pick it up and it'll populate this with all your patient orders that have been scheduled for today. If you don't have a system like that, like we don't have right now because this is a demo, we would just click on the New button. And from here we can put in a new patient's information. We'll say Jim Smith, born in 2008, and is a New Year's baby. So it's going to calculate your birth date for you. As far as the sex goes, we can just choose from female, male, and other. The session number is going to be pre-populated for you, and then a study description or procedure description is required. All these fields in the light blue with the asterisk next to them are fields you have to fill out in order to move on to the next step. So we'll just say chest, and from here we can build our study. So you can either build it by clicking on the different body parts. So let's say I want to do a forearm. Here's the different views that are already pre-programmed in. If I want to do a chest, I can click on the chest. I can also, if I want to, click on a series. So if I just want to do a chest, it's going to already call out here some predetermined studies you can do. Here's a chest 2 view, standard chest. So we can also create a favorites list as well. As you get to know the software, you'll be able to build these things in and really kind of streamline your workflow. If I wanted to add this study to my list to do later, which would pull up over here under study list, I can say add. If I want to just go into it right now, I can click open. So now we're in the exam screen. This is where you're going to be making your exposures. So just to kind of go through this a little bit, we can see here this DICOM information of the patient that's in here. This is what we're going to be doing, a chest AP, and you got a chest PA right here. So as we look at these menus here, you've got right here a positioning guide. It's also got a suggested technique for you. It's sort of just telling you a little bit about the exam itself, how to position them. So this is a good refresher for somebody who's a little newer to the X-ray field. It's also telling you looking for what you're evaluating, some tips. So it's kind of helpful stuff. And right here's a slider that just sort of shows the anatomy itself, the patient's position, and all the rest of these things. So it's sort of just a little guide for you. If you don't like that, hit the X button and that all just goes away. So if you want to get it back, you can click on these little 3 dots up here. So it can come and go depending on what you like. Over here we've got some different tools that would be used after the study. Maybe they would and maybe they wouldn't. And if you don't want to see those, you can click on those. That little menu item right there sort of cleans up the look of this screen right here for you. So choose which image you're going to take first, whether it's the PA or the AP. So here's another setting that you can pay attention to. Most people that come in are going to fall into the medium body type category, but if you've got a small child, you'll want to go with the small. If it's a baby, you want to go with the B. If you want somebody who's larger, maybe harder to penetrate, you'll want to go with the large. So most people will be the medium, but it's something to pay attention to. So at this point, we're going to make a sample X-ray. And as you can see, it comes up very quickly. A wired detector system will have the image come up in a couple seconds. A wireless might be 3-4 seconds, something like that. But either way, very, very fast image acquisition time. So you got your image up, and from here we can go over to this side. And if we wanted to do any kind of cropping, we can click on this, and it's going to give you some different sizes you can play with, or you can just do a manual crop. And we would just click on the software, drag in the corners, and once you're happy with the size you've got, double click inside that, it'll make the crop for you. There's some other tools here underneath the pencil, so you can do some panning. We can do window and leveling, so your mouse actually can control some of these functions without having to invoke the tools on the menu itself. So if we wanted to magnify, we can just go over this. You can see the magnification tool. If you wanted to crop again, you could crop it further. You could invert the image. We can do a marker here. We can have some different pre-programmed ones that are already in here. We can say right. We can move that around. Very flexible, flipping, rotating, all the normal things you're accustomed to with a DICOM image. We can magnify way in. And then if you need to pan around inside that, you can pan around inside that. And we can change the brightness and the contrast that way too. So if you find that you've got the image kind of scree-jawed and it's, you've gone a little bit farther than you wanted to go with making adjustments and changes, you can click on the reset button. It'll take it back to the state that the image was when you first acquired it. So it's a great way to just kind of undo all the changes you've made if you've done too much cropping, window leveling, or marking, things like that. So next you'd move on to your other image. So now we'll select and take our second image here to fill up the chest PA, and you can do the same type of thing. You can go through and you can crop this as needed, window level it if you like. But once you're done with the study and you've taken all the images you need, if you click on this button right here, this closes it out. And once the image is closed, it gets sent off to your packs. So we can take a look at it right here in our study list. As you can see, this is Jim Smith. We've got the two images here. And if we wanted to look at it, we just double click. Here's our images. And then you can close it out again. And that's all there is to it. It's really just a few simple steps. You're going to start off with your work list, create your study, make your images, QC them. When you're finished, close them off, and they get sent to packs automatically. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at Taiba Enterprises. You can reach us at 585-247-1212 or email support@ti-ba.com.